Well, I think of the scarcity conversation for me is less about jumping from scarcity to abundance. For me, there's an inherent sense of fear underneath both of those. That if I'm on the scarcity end, I don't have enough, I'm not going to make it. So it's kind of the questions that come out of that place, to me, feel real connected to fear, maybe even toxic shame. And then to jump to abundance as its opposite has some real fear-based component to that too. Like, I have enough, I hope nobody takes it, I hope I don't lose it. So there is a fear component to that piece too. And so rather than only considering those two as my only options, is to think about sufficiency in its truest sense, of that I am sufficient, that I have what I need, I've been made in the way that I've been made. How do I move into that with an idea of how much is enough? That even when I have more than I need, how do I give that away out of a sense of sufficiency rather than out of the fear that I'm going to lose something? There is an inclination to try to go big, and the older I get, the more I recognize small's okay. My wife and I recognize that the plot of land that we call home is ours to tend to, and in some respects is bigger than we're able to deal with. And it's a fair amount of work still, just in a medium suburban plot here to kind of carve out this sacred space that we have. And there always is the temptation to do more, to expand, to plant one more thing. And I think that connects me with the scarcity piece again, that whatever we have isn't enough. There's got to be more. The more new variety, it's like the new variety of a plant, or a different kind of vegetable, or one more trellis to grow more peas. Or, there's always that temptation to make it more. And my sense is our practice in letting it go fallow this year is some level of an intentional challenge for us to live in what we have, and let it be what it is, and let it do what it's going to do. And so it's difficult to engage and wrestle with that voice that's both cultural and sometimes internal, that if I don't do this, then I will be or won't be. I think that would take me back to toxic shame, that I need to do more than I'm able to do in order to be okay with myself, or have someone be okay with me, or whatever those check the boxes might be. There was a period of time in my professional career where my nickname in our division was the pilot guy. And I would come up with an idea, and I recognized we had limited financial and personnel resources. So I would pilot the idea, so we didn't have to commit everything to it, to learn what we needed to learn. And if it was successful, then we had evidence to put resources toward it, people and or money. If it didn't go well, we learned, well, that way didn't work. Is there another way that we could, so we'd move to another pilot. So it was kind of a perpetual pilots, but we'd hit on things like, oh, we could shift this way or this that way. And I think what I recognize now, 15 years, 20 years later, that it was a way in which I was working out my own limitations internally, and that they were sometimes even expressing themselves in my garden. Like, I don't need one more raised bed. I don't need one more variety of tomatoes. Like, this is enough. And back again to the sufficiency place of like, it's just my wife and I now. Kids are grown and gone, and this is enough. We have more than we need here. Who do we give it to? A neighbor, someone at work, someone at church. And there's been something really peaceful and settling about that, kind of coming back to that center place of what's important and true. It connects with that bell I talked about earlier, like the internal resonance of like, yes, yeah, but like a grounded, really back to where we started, a real grounded truth that I am who I am in the eyes of God, nothing more, nothing less.